Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, y'all. You know what time it is. Another month has come to a close, and that means there is a new month of world record activity to review. We saw 14 new world records for June 2019. Let's get started. Starting off this month, we have several improvements on Wario's Gold Mine no glitch. Consistently, there's been an improvement each month on this category of Wario's Gold Mine since March of this year. The madness continues with two improvements from Vincent on the very same day, June 1st, kicking it off in style on the first day, first setting a time of 1:50.657, and later on the same day, improving that time just a little bit by 7 milliseconds with a time of 1:50.650. Just 9 days later, on June 10th, Vincent made a very sizable cut compared to the other improvements as of late, improving down to a time of 1:50.601, very barely missing that sub 150.6. However, fellas, 8 days later, on June 18th, Vincent will be the first person to set a time of 150.5 on Wario's Gold Mine no glitch with a time of 150.579. A 150.5 has been Vincent's target, and his reaction was really awesome watching the Twitch VOD back. And I have left the link to his Twitch VOD to see his reaction in the description of the video below. And I just want to highlight again, the world record is now only a mere 115 milliseconds off of the best known splits as of today's upload date, which total a 150.464, with Vincent holding all three of the best splits as well. Now, at least to me, in my opinion, this is one of the current strongest world records that currently stand. And I mentioned it in previous videos, but the fact that the world record here is only 115 milliseconds behind the best known splits is really mind-blowing. Just stressing the fact that this track has up and downwards hills, there's obstacles like the bats flying by, you have to avoid those as you're shrooming, the turn skip, different tricks, the ending low jump, all that considered. Compare that to a track that is completely flat, no bumps, no crazy terrain, no flip tricks, just a mere boost panel at the end of the track, like Mario Circuit 3, and the difference between the world record and the best known splits there is 101 milliseconds off. So the fact that Vincent just continued to pound this to just a whole different dimension is seriously nuts. Overall, Vincent, your persistence and diligence is incredible, my man. So major props to you for grinding this track to another level. Next up, we have some activity on both Grumble Volcano glitch and the no glitch, no shortcut categories. We will review the glitch activity first. On June 2nd, Fizz improved his own world record by 17 milliseconds down to a time of 18.013, very narrowly avoiding the first sub 18. But just 2 days later, Fizz improved the world record a second time this month, and he becomes the first person to get the first sub 18 second time on Grumble Volcano with a time of 17.969. However, Fizz doesn't let it stand there for very long though. After getting the first sub 18 time, he would improve another time with a more sizable cut, this time with a cut of 129 milliseconds just 2 days later on June 6th. With a time of 17.840. I must say, it's crazy to see a time of 17 on Grumble Volcano. Just looking back at the world record history, the world record stayed in the 19-second range for 8 years, from 2009 to 2017. And it primarily stayed at the mid-18 range after 2017 until the introduction of the Quacker strategy, where improvements ramped up. We'll see what's in the cards though for Grumble Volcano glitch in the future. The best known splits currently stand at a resounding 15.728 as of today's upload. I think the next major jump with an improvement on this category will come from someone clutching out a time with the no clip rise onto the rock. It looks very bizarre, very crazy. I have left a link to the best known lap 1 split in the description below for you all to check out. Overall, congrats on the first sub 18 and your collective improvements, Fizz. Moving on to the no glitch, no shortcut category, Blaze reclaimed the world record from Connor with an improvement of 115 milliseconds on June 5th, finishing with a time of 151.726. And kind of how I highlighted on the glitch category of this track, it seemed like for this category we sat at a mid 152 for the longest time, and very minor improvements would come every now and then. But as of today, the best known splits add up to a 151.232, about 0.5 ahead of Blaze's new world record here. A 151.7 is mighty impressive, and as mentioned in previous months, time save will continue to come from minimizing hitting the dirt on any part of the run overall, and also optimizing these low jumps and all the ramps that you trick off of each lap. Great job, Blaze, and congrats on your improvement. Now, with great contrast, let's migrate from the very hot volcano to the frozen tundra that is N64 Sherbet Land. Just like Grumble Volcano, we had movements on both Sherbet Land glitch and no glitch. We will review the glitch activity first. On June 7th, we see Blaze also getting a world record here too, improving the world record by 138 milliseconds with a time of 136.697. With the major developments on Sherbet Land glitch last month that was reviewed in last month's video, I mentioned that until we have a 2 out of 3 run, improvements for 1 out of 3 will come from how fast you're pulling off the pole clip, the recovery, and your overall driving, optimizing that for the rest of laps 2 and 3, and Blaze's improvement does just that, beating the previous world record's lap 1 by 133 milliseconds and holding the distance for the rest of the run until the very end. Good work, Blaze, and congrats on your improvement. Near the end of this month, we had a major development here, folks. I really didn't think that we would see this so soon, but the first 2 out of 3 was pulled off. We see a new player get his very first world record, and how about doing it with such style, guys, being the first person to pull off a 2 out of 3 glitch world record on Sherbet Land. Taylor improves the world record by over 7 seconds with a time of 129.601 on June 24th. Here's Taylor's own words on his run. I know my lap 3 was terrible, but I'm still extremely happy that my grinding for this has paid off. I never had a world record before, so it was pretty difficult to control my nerves once I got the second clip. I don't see myself going for this again anytime soon, but if I get the urge to, I know I can do this again. Considering before I fully understood how to get the lap count, I got a 2 out of 3 with neither of them counting the lap. I can easily see this time dropping by quite a bit more, since besides lap 3, I didn't stop after the first clip to get a mini turbo smoothly, and I went extra far back to make sure the second lap would count. How incredible is this, guys? As he mentioned, he pulled a 2 out of 3 off before this run, and neither of the laps were counting. So of course it's completely understandable that he played each lap safe to ensure he had both laps counting and holding his nerves off until the very end of the run. And as we can see, guys, he barely misses clipping back onto the track. Now what this did here is that the one shroom glitch went far enough where when he went backwards to activate the last checkpoint, it still counted the lap. That's how the glitch originally worked, where you just would fly into the water before we can see that we can actually land back onto the track. Overall, man, what an awesome way to set your first world record. Congrats to you, Taylor. Flipping over to the no glitch activity on Sherbet Land, Sosis would improve his own world record twice this month. His first improvement will be on June 21st, beating his previous world record by 51 milliseconds, and getting the first sub 203.9 with a time of 203.870. Sosis was not done here, folks. He made another sizable improvement of 45 milliseconds with a time of 203.825 on June 26th. To be honest, seeing an improvement on this category was one of the last things I was expecting. Sosis was the first person to sub 204 in the no glitch category barely a year ago, on June 9, 2018. I didn't expect this to be improved so soon. Sosis is taking the driving on this course to another level. For example, to highlight driving over these cracks on the track. To achieve this, you are turning the opposite way of your drift as you're leaving the ice, and turning back in the direction of your original drift as you come back on the other side of the ice. And these cracks are notoriously bouncy. It can cost a huge amount of time, or even your entire run if the bounce is that bad. You can actually just bounce right into the wall in some cases too. It's been an unfortunate run killer for many players. In his new runs, it seems like he is trying to cut even more of the gap off than what has been standard here in the past, and it's really showing up on the laps now. And not to mention that his driving in the cave, guys, is seriously next level stuff. And on top of that, his runs aren't getting every single full chain wheelie, which is what you'd expect with the time being as low as it is now. His 870 was at a faster pace until lap 3, but unfortunately had a slip up entering the cave section, and the 825 had an unfortunate last turn, but still clutched out an improvement due to the better alignment as a result into the finish line, seeing the comparison here. Good work, Sosis, and congrats on your improvements. Now, from the frozen tundra of Sherbet Land, we arrive at sunny and vibrant Coconut Mall, folks, where we saw an improvement on the no glitch category near the end of this month. Ace improved upon his own world record by 62 milliseconds with a time of 1:55.731 on June 26th. Ace set the first sub 156 on this category over a year ago on May 12, 2018, with a time of 1:55.793. I remember seeing that run live and thinking this time would stand for a very long time. But seeing this new improvement, we can clearly see that the time save is still there. In the comparison versus his previous world record, Ace was behind for most of the race until the second escalators of lap 3, and then... oh man, I've definitely had moments like this before in my own runs on this track and other tracks too. This entire sequence lost around 0.1 overall, but Ace was able to clutch out an improvement with a more optimal ending of lap 3 versus his previous world record. And at least to note, lap 2 of this new improvement is actually a new best known split as well. The current best known splits stand at a 1:55.458, with still some more time for improvement, I'd think anyway. As I really do believe that at some point Ace and others will be able to beat this car cycle on lap 2. And when he can do this last boost panel drift and one complete drift instead of breaking it up into 2, you're automatically going to get some time save to make your lap 2s faster overall. Good work, Ace, and congrats on your improvement. Now, wrapping up the month of June, we're heading over to Mario Circuit for a glitch improvement. Bryce reclaimed the world record from Logan with a time cut of 78 milliseconds with a time of 49.643 on June 30th on the last day of June. The comparison between both Bryce's and Logan's runs was pretty cool to see. It seemed like both of their runs were very nearly level for all 3 laps, with the only minor difference being Bryce being a little bit quicker to use his shroom after getting the proper alignment for the tree clip on each lap. A little bit over 1 second separates the world record here and the best known splits, adding up to a time of 48.550, and making up that time and further improvements will more than likely come from executing the shrooms faster with the alignments for each tree clip and getting a fast fall off the hill of each lap as well. Good work, Bryce, and congrats on your improvement. And with that, my fellas, we conclude the review of the world records set in June 2019. A total of 14 world records were set, bringing the tally of 2019 up to 81. And I wanted to put this up here for some perspective. To compare, only 68 world records were set in the entire year of 2014. 81 world records were set in the year of 2015, and 82 world records were set for both 2016 and also 2017. And last year, 2018, was the most active year for world records since 2013. And it already looks like 2019 will be on track to beat the incredible year we had last year. Being as this is the midpoint of 2019, I'd like to give a very special congrats collectively to all the players who have set a world record this year. And a bit of fun trivia, 8 new players set their first world records this year as well. Awesome to see new players getting their first world records after this game was released over 11 years ago now. Additionally, I'd like to give a very special shout out as well, and congrats to all the TASers involved, as well as commentators Maleo, TAS Plasma, Luke, and Tom aka Sort of Seals, for making the Mario Kart Wii Task Showcase for the Task Bot block of SGDQ 2019, probably one of the most successful and popular blocks of the entire event. All areas of our community are thriving, and I really could not be more happy to see this. In case you guys missed it, I've left the link to see the entire task block on the YouTube upload in the description below. And just one more shout out to give before we wrap up this video, Enrique aka Ojos Locos, who graciously made the end screen of my videos out of his own generosity, is the talented man behind the new video intro for my videos with this one. His information is also in the description below. Thank you everyone as always. If you enjoyed the video and want to see more content like this coming to the channel, please do give the video a thumbs up as it helps with the growth of the channel, and subscribe to follow the channel if you have not done so already. With that, I'll be seeing you guys, my fellas, in the next video where we will review all the world records set for July 2019. Take care.